In 1928, biologist Alexander Fleming was basically the messy roommate of the scientific world. He headed off for a 2-week vacation, leaving a stack of staphylococci culture plates sitting out on his lab bench like unwashed dinner plates. When he returned, he noticed a patch of mold had crashed the party, and more importantly, it had created a dead zone where the bacteria couldn't grow. Most people would have just bleached the tray and moved on with their day, but Fleming decided to see why this specific mold was such a buzzkill for bacteria. It turns out the mold was Penicillium notatum, and he was busy inventing the first true antibiotic while Fleming was busy relaxing. If he had been a neater scientist, modern medicine might still involve a lot more thoughts and prayers and a lot fewer survived infections. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes neglecting your chores can actually lead to a Nobel Prize. Profit generated from the mistake, millions of lives saved, and a global pharmaceutical industry valued at over $60 billion. In 1945, an engineer named Percy Spencer was working for Raytheon, tinkering with a magnetron, the vacuum tube used in military radar systems. While standing next to the active machine, he noticed a very strange sensation in his pocket. His peanut Mr. Goodbar had turned into a literal pocket fondue. Instead of just being annoyed about his ruined pants, Spencer got curious and decided to see what else the radar waves could cook, starting with a handful of unpopped corn. He basically held the world's first movie night right there in the lab, followed shortly by an A that, fair warning, exploded directly into a colleague's face. He realized that the low-density energy from the magnetron could cook food faster than any oven in existence. It took a few decades for the radar range to shrink from the size of a refrigerator to something that fits on your counter, but we owe our ability to reheat leftovers in 30 seconds to a melted snack. Profit generated from the mistake, an industry currently worth over $12 billion annually. The story of the Post-it note is a comedy of errors involving two different scientists who couldn't quite get things right. In 1968, Dr. Spencer Silver was trying to create a super strong adhesive for the aerospace industry, but he failed miserably and ended up with a glue that was, well, pathetic. It was low tack, meaning it could stick to things but was easily peeled off without leaving a residue. For years, he wandered the halls of 3M like a sad salesman, trying to find a use for a glue that wouldn't actually hold anything together permanently. It wasn't until his colleague, Art Fry, got frustrated with his paper bookmarks falling out of his church hymnal that the eureka moment finally struck. They realized that a weak glue was actually perfect for temporary notes that didn't ruin the pages they were stuck to. It's the ultimate lesson in rebranding. If your product is weak, just tell people that's a feature. Profit generated from the mistake, a product line that generates roughly $1 billion in annual revenue. In 1943, naval engineer Richard James was working in a shipyard, trying to develop a system of springs that could stabilize sensitive instruments on ships during rough seas. While working at his desk, he accidentally knocked one of his experimental tension springs off a shelf. Instead of just hitting the floor with a thud, the spring walked down a stack of books, stepped onto a table, and gracefully somersaulted its way onto the floor. James spent the next several hours staring at the spring, probably ignoring his actual Navy deadlines, just to see if he could make it do the stair climb again. His wife, Betty, saw the potential immediately and dubbed it the Slinky after scouring the dictionary for a word that described the sleek, graceful movement. When they first demonstrated it at Gimbel's department store in 1945, they sold 400 units in 90 minutes. It turns out that the world didn't need a better naval stabilizer, as much as it needed a piece of wire that could walk down stairs. Profit generated from the mistake, over 300 million Slinkies sold worldwide. In 1941, Swiss engineer George de Mestral went for a hike in the Alps with his dog, only to return covered in annoying burdock burrs. Most of us just swear at the burrs while picking them out of our socks, but Mestral decided to put one under a microscope. He discovered that the burrs were covered in tiny microscopic hooks that had latched perfectly onto the tiny loops in his trousers and his dog's fur. He spent the next 10 years trying to replicate this hook and loop system in a lab, eventually settling on nylon as the perfect material. The fashion industry originally hated it, thinking it looked cheap and unrefined. But NASA saved the day when they realized it was perfect for keeping things from floating away in zero gravity. Today, it's everywhere, from blood pressure cuffs to the shoes of toddlers who haven't mastered the art of the knot. Profit generated from the mistake: a global hook-and-loop fastener market worth over $4 billion. In the 1930s, Kutol Products in Cincinnati was selling a soft, pliable substance designed for one very specific purpose: cleaning soot off of wallpaper. Because most homes were heated by coal, wallpaper got dirty fast, and this doughy cleaner was a household staple. However, as people switched to natural gas and washable wallpaper became the norm, the company was staring down the barrel of bankruptcy. It wasn't until the inventor's sister-in-law, a nursery school teacher, noticed that kids were using the wallpaper cleaner to make art projects that the company pivoted. They removed the detergent, added some bright coloring and a signature almond scent, and accidentally created the most famous modeling clay in history. If they had stuck to the cleaning business, the company would have died out decades ago. Now, they've sold enough of the stuff that if you made a giant ball out of it, it would probably be visible from space. Profit generated from the mistake: over 3 billion cans sold, with a brand value in the hundreds of millions. In 1938, a chemist named Roy Plunkett was working at DuPont, trying to develop a new chlorofluorocarbon refrigerant. He left a TFE gas sample in a pressurized cylinder overnight, but when he opened the valve the next morning, no gas came out. Thinking the tank had leaked, he weighed it and realized it was still full. Something had turned the gas into a solid while he was sleeping. He sawed the tank in half and found a slippery, white, waxy powder that was incredibly resistant to heat and chemicals. This failed experiment turned out to be polytetrafluoroethylene, or Teflon, which was immediately whisked away for secret government projects, including the Manhattan Project. It wasn't until the 1950s that someone had the genius idea to put it on a frying pan so people could stop scraping burnt eggs off their cookware. It's the slippery slope that every kitchen in the world eventually slid down. Profit generated from the mistake: a global non-stick coating market valued at over $10 billion. In 1879, researcher Konstantin Fallberg was working in a lab at Johns Hopkins University, studying coal tar derivatives. After a long day of playing with chemicals that would make a modern safety inspector faint, he headed home for dinner without washing his hands. While biting into a piece of bread, he noticed it tasted incredibly sweet, almost sugary, which was weird because his wife hadn't changed the recipe. He realized the sweetness was coming from his own hands, and in a move that I cannot emphasize enough was terrible lab safety, he went back to the lab and literally tasted every beaker and dish until he found the culprit. That culprit was saccharin, the world's first artificial sweetener, which was about 300 times sweeter than sugar. It became a massive hit, especially during sugar rationing in World War I, and later became the foundation of the entire diet industry. It's the only time in history that forgetting to wash your hands didn't lead to a stomach bug, but to a massive corporate empire. Profit generated from the mistake: the foundational product for a $20 billion global artificial sweetener market. Over 1,000 years ago, during the Tang Dynasty, Chinese alchemists were obsessed with a very noble goal: finding the elixir of immortality. They were mixing various minerals and chemicals, hoping to create a potion that would let the emperor live forever. Instead, they mixed saltpeter, sulfur, and charcoal, and then they probably stood a little too close with a candle. The resulting fire drug, or huayao, didn't give them eternal life. It gave them the ability to end life much faster than ever before. The irony is almost too much to handle. The search for a way to stop death resulted in the invention of the most destructive force in human warfare. They started by using it for fireworks and fire arrows to scare off evil spirits, but it didn't take long for the military applications to take over. It fundamentally ended the era of knights in shining armor and castles with thick walls. Profit generated from the mistake: it fundamentally altered the global economy, trade, and warfare for over a millennium. In the early 1900s, chemist Leo Bakelite was looking for a synthetic replacement for shellac, which was expensive because it had to be harvested from the secretions of Southeast Asian beetles. He wanted something he could use to coat electrical wires. He mixed phenol and formaldehyde in a pressurized Bakeliter and accidentally created a material that didn't just coat things, it could be molded into almost anything and was virtually indestructible once it set. He called it Bakelite, the world's first truly synthetic plastic that wouldn't melt or warp under heat. It was marketed as the material of 1,000 uses, and they weren't lying. It ended up in everything from radios and telephones to jewelry and billiard balls. It kicked off the plastic age, which brought us incredible convenience, though we are now spending a lot of time trying to figure out how to uninvent the indestructible part. Profit generated from the mistake, the birth of a multi-trillion-dollar global plastics industry. In 1895, German physicist Wilhelm Röntgen was experimenting with cathode rays using a vacuum tube. To see if the rays were escaping, he covered the tube with thick black cardboard and turned out the lights. He was shocked to see a fluorescent screen on the other side of the room glowing, even though the cardboard should have blocked all the light. He realized a new kind of invisible ray was passing through solid objects, including his own skin. He spent weeks living in his lab, eventually convincing his wife, Anna, to place her hand in the path of the rays over a photographic plate. When she saw the image of her own bones and her wedding ring floating in space, she famously cried out, "I have seen my death." It was the first time in history humans could see inside a living body without, a sword. Profit generated from the mistake, it revolutionized modern diagnostics and created a medical imaging market now worth $40 billion. In 1956, Wilson Greatbatch was trying to build a circuit that would record the sound of a human heartbeat. He reached into his toolbox to grab a 10,000 ohm resistor to complete the circuit, but he accidentally pulled out a 1 mega ohm resistor instead. When he installed the wrong part, the device didn't record a heartbeat. It started emitting a steady, rhythmic electrical pulse that perfectly mimicked the timing of a human heart. Greatbatch stared at the blinking light and realized that if he could shrink this down, he could use it to jumpstart a heart that was failing to beat on its own. Before this, pacemakers were the size of televisions and had to be plugged into a wall, which made going for a walk a bit difficult. Greatbatch's accidental circuit allowed the device to become portable and eventually implantable. It's the most life-saving wrong part in the history of engineering. Profit generated from the mistake, millions of lives extended, and a global pacemaker market valued at over $5 billion. From the moldy petri dish of penicillin to the accidental pulse of the first pacemaker, history is a series of fortunate stumbles. These inventions remind us that sometimes our biggest mistakes aren't failures, they're just solutions to problems we haven't identified yet. Thanks for watching the video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below with which accident you're most thankful for. Have a historic day.